Hello to all my viewers. Hello to all my subscribers. TheFearedStorm back again with a video. And today is video number 1 of video 2. There are 2 videos today. The first one being about the Nintendo Switch, and the second one is Gaming Friday video. The Gaming Friday video should have went up yesterday, but I worked Thursday night going into Friday. So when I got home, I was super tired. I laid down. I didn't wake up until about 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. I took a shower. I left the house around like 6, 7 o'clock. I went to the mall. I picked up the game. Came home. It was about 8, maybe a little after 8, 9 o'clock. So I really didn't make the video, and I didn't upload it due to the fact that it was late as it is. So it was like, should have uploaded it, but I didn't upload it, and it was because of that reason only. I apologize. So if I say a Gaming Friday video is coming up, expect it on a Saturday, but if you do see it up early, just know that in the near future, guys. Alright, so today's video is about the Nintendo Switch. My thoughts, my opinions on the Nintendo Switch. So, we first got a glimpse at the Nintendo Switch through a trailer they presented. With a really snappy tune that they presented, showing off how serious Nintendo was about the Nintendo Switch. They showcased Breath of the Wild. They showcased in that video that the guy that was playing Breath of the Wild had to take his dog for a walk, and he took the Switch on the go with him. It showcased whether you're taking your dog for a walk, whether you're going to a party, or you're out with your friends playing basketball, you're on an airplane or a train, the Switch can go with you. And you have 2 controllers with it as well. So that to me in alone was like, cool. The games that they showed on there was 2K7, NBA 2K17, or 2K18, whatever you want to call it now. Skyrim, new Mario game, and there Splatoon was there as well. And there's a few other little Mario Kart as well was there. So they showcased that trailer very well. And the demographic they were adults to young adults playing the Switch. There were no children or families playing the Switch. And that to me set a tone for Nintendo, saying Nintendo was done messing around that way and that they wanted to take the system seriously. And it was like, wow, awesome. Now, the second presentation for the Switch came on January 12th, 2017. I was at work. Again, that's a Thursday. I work overnight. So on my first break, I watched at least a good 15-minute of it, and then on my lunch break, I watched a good portion of it, and then my last break, I watched the rest of it and finished it off. So the presentation of the Switch that I gathered, the Joy-Cons, the HD Rumble, the camera, which detects whether you do rock, paper, scissors, and how you can just sit on the couch and relax your shoulders and just play that way. Or you can do traditional style, which is put them in the Joy-Con grip, and you can play like a normal way of playing traditional video games. Or you can use the Pro Controller, the Switch Pro Controller. Either or, whichever way you prefer to game. The games they presented on the Switch were The Legend of Zelda, ARMS, which I want to point out clearly, the motion play that they were showing you, you don't have to use that. That's an option. You can do traditional style with playing with the controller normally. It's just they say to get the optimized of the game, you should play it with the motion. You don't have to do that, and I think a lot of people were pissed off about that. That, oh, they're going back to motion games and all that kind of stuff. It was irrelevant. Since the Wii, Review Tech USA, there's nothing wrong with motion games, and I think they're great. Zelda, Red Steel, are two games in Metroid. Were just three games in mind that I actually absolutely loved with the motion for it, and I think if they do it right, it's awesome. But anyway, there were a lot of games they presented. Skyrim was announced that there's going to be on there. Dragon Quest 10 and 11, Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2, which I can't wait. They have a new RPG, Project Octus or something like that it's called. It's coming to the Switch. Bomberman, 1-2 Switch, which is another fun party game you can play. Just Dance. There's just Skylanders coming on there. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the definitive version. Splatoon 2. So, again, you have all these games that are coming out on the Switch. And the presentation talked about the battery life. Also, it talked about how the battery life would be like 2 hours to 6 hours, depending upon what game you were playing. If you're playing Breath of the Wild, it's 3 hours, guys. So, but again, the charger, the AC adapter, it's universal. So if you get a car charger for that, you can plug it in the car and charge it in the car. So you're pretty much, you're not screwing you over on that. So you can play it that way. So let's talk about third parties here, because people are scared about the third parties not being there for Nintendo, unlike it was for the Wii U. Well, first off, let's talk about the Wii U for a second. The reason the developers didn't want to develop games on the Wii U was because they said it was kind of behind, like the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. It was kind of like in that realm. Wii U was a little more powerful than those. They were a lot powerful than the PS3 and Xbox 360. I guess not by much, but still they were more powerful than it, though. And the reason also they didn't want to develop for it was because of the gamepad. This little thing right here, they didn't want to develop for. Rocksteady Games, who developed the Batman games, they put 2 games out for the Wii U. They put Batman Arkham Origins and Batman Arkham City Armored Edition out for it, but they didn't finish it off. They didn't put Batman Arkham Asylum, and they didn't do Batman Arkham Knight. They didn't do Batman Arkham Knight because they said that the Wii U couldn't hold the Batmobile. It was underpowered for what they wanted to do. They could have developed a unique game for Batman Arkham Knight for the Wii U, but they just chose not to do it. They just chose not to develop a whole new game for it. Okay, so third party didn't really do much for the Wii U. And the gap between first party titles were huge with the Wii U. The Switch, you've got 80 games in development. And I don't see it slowing down. Third parties are great to have on a console like Nintendo. They are. They're great. You got to have something variety on your consoles. Third party stated, and hearing these developers quote them, that it's easy to port over from the Xbox One and the PS4. It's too easy to port it over to the Switch. It makes me believe that the Switch is more than capable, if not on base or slightly more powerful than the basic PS4 and Xbox One. It makes me believe that. Now, everyone's talking about, well, okay, if it's slightly more powerful and it's got whatever, then why are they getting these games that are last generation? Why are they getting these games that have been out for quite some time already coming to the Switch? First of all, Nintendo took their time getting to where they were at. They didn't rush. A lot of people don't understand. Nintendo doesn't beat to what Sony and Microsoft do. They do their own thing. That's why they've been around so long and they pace themselves. You ever notice that if you rush yourself in a marathon, you start running really fast and you start going, eventually you lose momentum and you lose your breath and you run out of steam. Microsoft and Sony ran out of steam because they rushed themselves and they got themselves in a situation to where now they're maxed out. Do they have the VR? Yeah, they have the VR, the PlayStation VR. But virtual reality is just, yeah, it's cool. But I'm not going to go out and spend that much money on a virtual reality for my PlayStation to play maybe like 1 or 2 games. So they're maxed out. And the Pro, with the PlayStation Pro and the Xbox One, Scorpio, I guess you call it, the other one. Yeah, you have Xbox 360 games you can play on there. Okay, you can play 4K on those as well. But a lot of the games don't even have 4K capabilities in them. And they don't look that great. So, when you buy a console because you want the games that are on that console. When a person buys a Nintendo console, they don't buy a Nintendo console for third parties. They buy it because they want the first party experience that Nintendo can give them. The Zeldas, the Marios, the Animal Crossings, the Metroids, the Donkey Kongs, the F-Zeros, the Kid Icaruses, the Bayonettas, the Xenoblades. Those are just some of the names, Splatoons as well. Those are just some of the names. Nintendo has more first-party IPs than Sony and Microsoft combined together. So, third parties being on there, they're going to be there. I think there are going to be plenty of third parties that's going to do very well with third parties. I think Nintendo's going to do and knock it out of the park. This is going to be a home run for them when it comes to third party on this console. Am I getting the console for the third parties? No. I'm getting the console for the first party experience. I am a Nintendo fan. And you can call me a fanboy. I'm a Nintendo fanboy. But I also have a PlayStation as well. Does that make me a fanboy of PlayStation? No. But when I buy a Nintendo console, I buy a Nintendo console for the reason being of first party. I don't worry about the third parties. That's why I've got the other console for third parties. But if Nintendo's going to carry my all-around base on everything on those, then yeah, I'm going to stick with Nintendo and not buy for the others. So that's just being smart. Alright, so the internal memory. Now this is something that people get pissed about. Why didn't Nintendo build a hard drive into their console, blah, blah, blah. It takes longer for it to load on a hard drive than it does on a micro SD card. And it's fast and it's on the go. The internal memory of the Switch is 32 gigabytes. Nobody knew that. Same thing as the Wii U Deluxe. So, Nintendo already said that you can use a micro SD card. High capacity. You could use that. up to 2 terabytes. Like you'd ever need really 2 terabytes, but if you want to put 2 terabytes into your thing, I mean, it's not going to cost that much money. If you shop around and you're smart about it, it's not going to cost you that much money for an SD card. A micro SD card at least. So shop around, do your research. The Switch is going to be amazing. Now there's something else I do want to touch on. The streaming, video streaming, or video media streaming, which is Hulu, Netflix, that thing. Even the WWE Network, I'll throw that in there as well. Or Vudu, or whatever you call it. Nintendo made it clear that they're not having Netflix, Hulu at launch. Not ever on that system. And I think it's great. I think it's great that they're not going to have those on there. It's a video game console. When you shell out $300 to $400 to $500 for a video game console, it should be for video gaming only. It should not include Facebook, video streaming. Get a fucking computer, you stupid idiots. You can afford a video game console, but you can't afford a computer? You can't afford a Roku, which is $50? Oh my God, people. There are other means to watch Netflix and Hulu. You don't need it on your video game console. Jesus. Nintendo is going back to its roots where it belongs. They're making their system a gaming console for you to game on. You have a smartphone. Shit. I have a smartphone right here. I have an iPhone. I don't need my Switch to play Netflix. I've got Netflix on my phone. I've got an iPad. I don't need my Switch to play Netflix or Hulu. I've got a PS3, a PS4, a Wii U that does it, 3DS that does it. I don't need my Switch to do that. And I don't even use my systems for that. I use my systems for games. There's no reason for a video game console to support that bullcrap. There's no reason whatsoever. So for people out there that are bitching and complaining, stop your bitching and complaining. Now, one last piece of business before I wrap this up. People are bitching about cartridge. That's what it is. It's a cartridge to disc. The way things are manufactured today in 2017, it costs more to manufacture a disc, to put a game on a disc, than it does on a cartridge. I mean, seriously. Or a card, I'm sorry. A card, to be exact, I'm sorry, a card. It costs less to put it on a card than it does on a disc. You could drop a card multiple times, and even get stepped on a couple of times. You step on a disc or a card, a disc, it's going to get scratched. If you step on a disc, it's going to get scratched. If you leave it out or anything like that, and it gets smudge marks or prints or scratches or whatever, you're screwed. A card, it can get scratched, it can get whatever, and it'll work fine. Nintendo is thinking about the people that are irresponsible. Nintendo is thinking about those like kids. Maybe parents are going to buy the Switch for their kids. So, with that having been said, the Switch is going to be a system that is for everybody to play. They're going to have third parties, whether it's rated E for everyone, whether it's M for mature. Did I reserve a Switch? You damn right I did. The following day after the presentation, I went straight from work to GameStop and I reserved my Nintendo Switch. I got the neon Nintendo Switch, which I forgot to mention. There's the regular version and then there's the neon one. There's two different separate, but they're for the same price. I reserved Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I reserved Mario Kart 8 and Super Mario Odyssey. So I'll probably pick up 2 other games on launch day for my Switch, so I have something else to play besides Zelda. But I think Zelda's going to consume most of my time while I wait for Mario Kart and Odyssey. And then I want to get Mario Kart, I think, between Zelda, Mario Kart, and the other games that I have for it. I think that's going to fill my time in between while I wait for Super Mario Odyssey. Alright, guys. I will put a picture up of the games that are coming out for the Switch on my Facebook page, so don't forget to check out my Facebook page, The Feared Storm, and like it. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at TheFearedStorm, and when I do streaming, which I did a stream not too long ago, of Power Rangers Mega Battle, you can check that out. That's on my Twitch page at TheFearedStorm. You can follow me there. Don't forget to drop a like on this video if you liked it. Don't forget to drop a dislike if you didn't like it. Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to share and favorite this video. And as always, guys, I am TheFearedStorm. Stay tuned as the Gaming Friday video will be up in a short. Until then, I'm TheFearedStorm. I'll see you in the next video. Same storm time, same storm channel, and as always, keep on gaming. And guys, keep it retro.